Hey, Sean, do you know what? I think that our listener want real protection against cyber risk, and I know that HiTrust is the leader in cybersecurity assurance. But what makes them the go-to choice?
Well, according to our friends at HiTrust, because their framework covers 100% of the known tactics, techniques, and procedures, in 2024, organizations with a HiTrust certification had just a 0.59% incident rate, meaning 99.41 stayed breach free.
That's solid, but what about staying sharp over time?
HiTrust's regular certification process isn't just a checkbox, it actually drives improvement. Repeat customers see up to 54% fewer corrective actions needed year over year. And now, with their new AI security assessment and certification, you can actually tackle AI risk with confidence as well.
Then check out the iTrust framework. Go to hitrustalliance.net to learn more.
Jim,
What's up, Sean?
look at you, man.
You see you, Sean?
You are amazing.
You're amazing.
You're
It's good to
amazing.
see you, brother.
Really good to see you.
Very happy to be here in
It's-
Barcelona.
It's very different in person, isn't it?
It's very different in person.
Yeah, we get to have a hug, and
I like a hug.
I like a hug too. And life is good.
Life is
when,
great.
when you can have a good friend be in your presence and feed off your energy. You have the best energy in the world, my friend.
It's very kind of you to say.
And you pump a lot of that into this community,
Absolutely.
the OWASP community, which is, we're in Barcelona for Global AppSec EU, and good event so far.
I love it here.
Yeah.
And it's a really well organized event. I'm a big fan of the OWASP staff and all the work they've done to make this happen. So it's great to be here.
Yeah, Lauren and team, incredible stuff.
Fantastic.
You had a couple days of training, 2 days of training?
I did 2 days of training.
Yes. And how'd that go?
Last week I did a 5-day, 8-hour day training. And then I hop on a plane, come to Barcelona, and did a 2-day training Tuesday. So I'm tired, but happy tired.
It is a
Happy
happy
tired.
tired. Well, you can see the smile. I think I saw you saying hi to some of the students in the hallways as well. So
Absolutely.
I presume I can only imagine they got some really good stuff from you. So
You know what? All 10 of my students, they stayed till the end. So I didn't lose anyone. That's a good sign.
that is a good sign. So what excites you about this week? So now we're in the conference now. So the keynote, Sarah Jane's wrapping up the keynote. What are your thoughts on the theme this year? What are you feeling?
The theme is AI, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
it's taken over all of technology, but I admit I'm extremely excited about artificial intelligence for how it relates to our industry of application security. I think it's a chance to really win in a lot of ways if we embrace this technology properly.
So I'm gonna start with this. It's been on my mind for the last few days, and I've been asking a couple people after I talked to them, but I'm gonna ask it at the beginning here, because I feel, and if others watching the other episodes, they may have heard this already, but I feel with AI as a tool given to developers and security teams that it's based on what's already been done, and therefore the outputs are created based on what's already been done. And I'm just wondering how creative will we be? Because I feel we're going to have this common denominator world where all the apps look the same and act the same and function the same, and then there will be some people, I believe, that bring the creative mind to it, but that number, I think, will be smaller as we move forward, and I think we end up in this world of, now this is a big picture view, I also apply it to just application development as well. So your thoughts on that? Do we end up with a world that's common denominator okay?
I think in the short term, you're going to see some of that. But as AI technology advances, I think we're going to enter an era of even more creativity. For example, right now, when I'm using certain AI tools, the user interfaces are similar for certain tools. But if you look at the bleeding edge of how user interface developers are using AI, I've seen some prototypes from customers of mine where they're using AI based on the behavior of the user interacting with their user interface. The user interface dynamically adapts and modifies itself to be in sync with that user behavior. So every single user of this user interface has a different experience based on their custom behavior. And this was not very possible that long ago.
Right.
And so that's what so right now I do agree with you. A lot of the application dev tools where I don't need to code, I just can I can prompt how to build an app. They have a lot of similarities, but that's just the short term.
Okay.
This tool is gonna advance dramatically, and through prompting and through user direction, it's gonna be this great creative tool that has infinite possibilities for us.
Right.
But it's gonna take a while to get there, I think.
Okay. So when you're doing your training at organizations and conferences and whatnot, who's the primary audience? Are they engineers? Are they AppSec people? Are they security people?
My audience is always like 99% developers.
Okay.
And there's a few security people, a few product managers, some AppSec people who usually brought me in will attend the class. But my audience is 99% in the field, hardened software developers building apps for big enterprises.
Okay. So what do you hear from them in this regard in terms of the use of AI, and are they using it to streamline and reduce effort, or are they trying to figure out a way to be creative with it as well?
I have a jaded view. Let me take a step back. A lot of my customers, they bring me in when they already want to teach their developers how to do secure coding. So I tend to interface with companies who have a bit more maturity in the world of AppSec.
Right.
And the last couple of customers I taught this year, I've been teaching them for almost a decade, big companies, right? And what I'm finding is they've embraced DevOps. They have a lot of rich scanning technology, and the low-level technical bugs that used to haunt them is almost not a problem anymore. And it's going away. And their problems are now like business logic and access control and some of the non-scannable things. So I was seeing like AppSec as a discipline start to fade a bit in terms of its importance. So about 2 years ago,
in terms of bugs.
In terms of like training and wanting research and the bugs that they're finding, it was becoming at the technical low-level bug level a solved issue. And in the last year or two, they're focusing their attention on access control design, which is not really scannable for a lot of reasons. And so I saw
I'm thinking of business workflow too. How do you assess that?
Exactly. This requires like the human element. So about two and a half years ago, I saw this trend. I'm like, I'm not certain if AppSec education is going to continue the way it has for my company. So I began researching AI security, and I spent an enormous amount of time building a full AI security curriculum when people, both business partners and partners of mine, were telling me that this is garbage technology and you're wasting your time. And I heard that from literally everybody in my world about 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and I charged forward and I built a whole AI curriculum and been studying a great deal prompt injection, data poisoning, the whole AI life cycle, the provenance of like training data and training models, and like I've been immersed in that for years. And this year, 90% of my classes are all AI security. It's AppSec flavored AI, so a lot of AppSec modules and a lot of AI modules. So AI, in terms of what developers want to hear about, what companies want to be taught, is a really big deal right now.
And do you see we see a lot of change in how apps are built, a lot of open source, a lot of services and API-driven things. Agentic AI is another trend or fad, or I don't know. What are you seeing on that?
So if you put like a AI coding tool in the hands of an average developer, they're going to get on average what we saw from the keynote just now, a 55% boost from a large study that she was citing. Now, but if you put AI in the hands of a senior developer or a senior architect who really has been grinding out code their whole life, and you give them some tools of how to use AI more effectively, the actual performance boost is radically bigger. So AI as a tool for coding is here to stay, and it's only going to accelerate in capability. But there's one big problem.
Tell me.
AI writes horribly insecure code. And I'm going to do a demo in my talk today where I'm going to show Claude, Gemini Pro 2.5, OpenAI, the O3 Mini High coding model, Copilot, and Grok with deep research. And I'm going to show all of them building React applications, and all of them are making fundamental security mistakes that aren't even advanced, that are basic. And so that's the problem. These AI engines they're pulling from a repository of code that's not itself good security properties. So all of the major AI engines, all of them are writing back to low-level technical bugs again.
Yeah.
And this is a step back in a lot of ways.
Right. That's kind of what I was alluding to as well. So
Exactly.
So how, I know you've obviously been doing a lot of work to write curriculum and help train people. So you're going to do this live. You're going to point out, here's all this stuff, but you also have a flip of the coin there for folks too, right?
So, I don't really think of myself as like a big thinker. I'm not a threat modeler. I'm not a manager. Like, I focus on learning low-level technical secure coding tricks. Let me give you some example. This is like nitty-gritty stuff that no one really cares about. Here, React, the big user interface framework to build a web application. Here's 3 rules. If you're going to use dangerously set inner HTML, then run that content through DOM Purify 3.26 or higher, the current version. There's a rule. Here's a second rule. If you're going to use create element in React and the argument is a type, and that's untrusted data, that doesn't get escaped. You have to do allow list validation on a legal tag name. And here's a third rule. If you have untrusted data as a prop in the create element function, then it's going to get escaped, or you can escape it, but it can't land in an action attribute like onClick, onBlur, or if it's an open variable, it can't land in a URL handler without doing URL validation. See, I'm losing it. See, it's okay.
No, I'm following, but
And
I'm like, how big is that list though? It goes on and on and on, right?
This has been my trade for the last 20 years, is building curriculum that discusses these like actionable secure coding techniques. And I've been collecting these for, again, almost 20 years. Now I'm looking at AI writing insecure code. And I'm looking at my courseware with all these nitty-gritty details that frankly only developers care about. And I put it together, and I've been building prompts for all the major frameworks that use these nitty-gritty rules to teach AI how to write secure code. And when I first did a demo for myself, I'm like, well, I should try this. I should give this a try. And I wrote my first prompt for React, and I gave it a go. I remember I dropped my phone, like watching the screen do all these controls that I wanted to do. Like one of the first times I tried this out, and I'm like, oh, I got to keep doing this. And I remember I was up for days drinking coffee because I had this inspired idea, building prompts for Django, for PySpark, for Vue, for Svelte. And I wouldn't stop. I just kept going. I kept going for days, and now I have this set of prompts for every major framework that I've been working on the last 20 years to get it to write secure code, converted it to Markdown so it works in Copilot well, and I'm like, I gotta do something with this.
You have to do something with this.
And I'm not too worried about competition because most people in the security space, they're doing AI for attacking. They're doing AI for security testing. A lot of people doing AI for threat modeling and architecture. There's just not a lot of people who spent a lot of time focusing on the nitty-gritty, boring secure coding rules of frameworks. So this is exciting to me.
That pumps through you every day.
Exactly. So this is I feel like it's like a whole new career. AI has helped. On a global level, it's got a lot of implications. On a personal level, though, I feel like my career is starting over again. I got a whole new espresso hit to be excited about doing application security with AI flavor again.
Yeah, Jim Manico on Adopia.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give you one more too.
All right, please.
So the ASVS standard, the Application Security Verification Standard,
V5.
They're just about to release version 5 on Friday.
Yep.
This is primarily the work of Ilar Lang and Josh Grossman.
Yep.
They're the 2 main committers. I'm one of the project leaders. I'm the top 3rd committer, but I really want to acknowledge that Josh Grossman and Ilar Lang, they put the blood, sweat, and tears into leading this and making it happen.
Yeah.
They're the real leaders of ASVS 5. I'm a leader. I'm like LINO, leader in name only, right? And so I got a lot of commits. I hassle them a lot, but my passion for it's fading a bit, right? I think it's great work. It's important. Done a lot of AppSec though, and so I'm like, I literally asked OpenAI. I'm like, we've been talking about, ChatGPT. We've been talking about application security for a long time. And I need something to do. What should I do? They're like, Jim, AISVS, get started. So I'm like, really? I'm like, bing. So it wasn't my idea. It was ChatGPT, my little advisor agent, advising me.
It knows who you are. Yeah.
So I proposed the Artificial Intelligence Security Standard the Artificial Intelligence Security Verification Standard to OWASP. I went through the political approval process and waited for the proper approval. I got it from the project committee.
Nice.
I got 200 volunteers.
Look at that.
I got a co-leader and another potential co-leader. By the way, Otto, you're awesome. Someone randomly shows up and has been contributing well.
Yeah.
And we've already released version 0.1. Like,
Nice.
I used AI to help generate a lot of the rules and to clean it up with other humans. And we have the initial 0.1 version just to give us something to debate. I bet in about 6 months, maybe at DC, we're going to release AISVS version 1.0.
Look at that.
And it's exciting to be working at OWASP doing this stuff.
I love it, Jim. So I think I'm going to be in DC.
Let's do it.
So we'll have that chat with a few of the committee members and your co-leaders.
Absolutely.
I'm actually going to have a chat with Josh and Laura as well.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. These two put blood, sweat, and tears into making this happen. It's just so many people volunteering with suggestions. It was difficult to manage the load of all the volunteers wanting changes. They did a great job.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of the work that they did.
Yeah, two cool guys. I met them yesterday, or saw them here yesterday, and I'll chat with them today. So we'll tell the ASVS story, and then in a few months we'll tell the AISVS story.
I'll give you an exclusive.
All right.
I'll give you the first
I love it.
like press release on its release. So
Nice one, Jim. It's always fun talking to you. Anything else on your mind for the next couple of days?
life is great.
Life is good.
You know,
Life is good, right?
work hard, be good to people, and have fun.
Yep. Love life, love yourself, love others.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm asking, and I'll have you address the camera directly.
Okay.
Asking folks, when I say OWASP, what does that mean to you? I want to say, I think it was you, and maybe, I don't remember if I had you both on at the same time, you and Owen Curie from EdgeScan. You were, I think, one of the first that connected me with OWASP and gave me that description way back when, probably 10 years ago or something now. But you've been in this space a long time. What does OWASP mean to you now? Tell the folks.
I still see it as the Open Web Application Security Project. It'll always be that OWASP to me. It's just a name.
It isn't it?
But I love OWASP the way it is. Nothing's perfect. It's a nonprofit organization, but I've met great people. There's a lot of stickers I had on my badge, right? Like I'm a leader, and I'm a project leader, and I'm a trainer, a builder. I ripped all those off. The reason I love OWASP because I'm a student here. I learn so much from being a part of this community by reading the projects, reading the documentation. So I'm like, my blood bleeds blue. I love OWASP the way it is. I respect the staff. I try to be respectful to the staff. I appreciate the work that Andrew Vanderstock does. I appreciate the work of the board. I appreciate the work of projects. I even appreciate the work of Elar Lang, who did ASVS 5.0. We butt heads a little bit, but that's all right. So I look at this community, I look at the people involved, I look at the way the organization is run. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
I love OWASP for what it is.
Perfectly imperfect.
Exactly.
Yeah. A living, breathing organism that's driven by people like you, Jim. And
you.
a huge community.
And
I know
you.
almost 1,000 people here this week, so it's pretty cool.
Fantastic.
I appreciate that, Jim. All right, I'm gonna let you go because you have a live demo.
I'm ready.
Five or six live demos.
I'm ready. I'm gonna do this.
I'm super excited for you. We'll keep the conversation going, of course. I appreciate you supporting me being here. Seriously, without you, I don't know if I'd be here in Barcelona.
It's my honor to be a part of what you do.
I cherish that and your friendship and everything. So
Likewise.
connect with Jim, everybody. Good guy. Do your AI stuff. Be creative. Do it safely. Thanks for listening, watching. We'll see you here on location, OWASP Global AppSec EU 2025 in Barcelona.
Hey, Sean, do you know what? I think that our listener want real protection against cyber risk, and I know that HITRUST is the leader in cybersecurity assurance. But what makes them the go-to choice?
Well, according to our friends at HITRUST, because their framework covers 100% of the known tactics, techniques, and procedures, in 2024, organizations with a HITRUST certification had just a 0.59% incident rate, meaning 99.41 stayed breach-free.
That's solid, but what about staying sharp over time?
HITRUST's regular certification process isn't just a checkbox, it actually drives improvement. Repeat customers see up to 54% fewer corrective actions needed year over year. And now with their new AI security assessment and certification, you can actually tackle AI risks with confidence as well.
Then check out the iTrust framework. Go to hightrustalliance.net to learn more.